Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for another video. We're here for the penultimate round of the FTRL ACC Championship, and well, it's a wet quali here at the Kyalami South African circuit. So less than ideal going in. Obviously I had no experience in the wet, so I sort of just slapped on the wet preset setup, a little bit of tweaks just to give it a little bit more stability and a little bit more pace. But just on this installation lap, the out lap here, just really trying to find the conditions and get used to the grip, where the grip is, find it, you know, just try and make the most of it. And obviously as the session progresses, we can find a little bit more speed to gain the lap time. The Lexus does feel really good in the wet conditions. It feels good, consistent is the main thing. It's not, you know, you're not fighting it too much, which is the most important thing obviously in these wet conditions. But starting the final lap and flat out coming out of the final corner onto the pitch straight, and you want to really shorten this run down into turn 1 and make it as little much of a corner as you can. So we're going to be braking just at about the 125 meter board, trail braking down to second, really using the engine braking, making sure I don't coast to keep the weight of the car pinned in one area, making sure it's all at the front as well with that trail braking. So coming through these corners, you know, really just sort of, you know, rolling the car in on the brakes, trying to get a bank lap in. We obviously have a 20-minute quali here in FTRL, so really just trying to get used to the conditions again, just put an installation lap in so I can build upon it. And yeah, you can see it's not being the most tidy lap, obviously get a caught on the curb and losing a bit of time of course, but yeah, just really trying to keep it pinned with the throttle and the brake to keep the nose turn in and obviously not spin the car. Did not want to coast, especially through here. It was a very tricky corner to get used to. So yeah, so far it's been an alright first lap, you know, getting used to the conditions pretty quickly, coming through this corner, just trying to brake as late as I can, because you really could send it in on the brakes and gain a lot of lap time just from the that little bit extra braking. You don't want to brake too late obviously though, as you run the risk of going in really deep, not being able to recover it. For the exit, obviously again you have to be really careful with the gears, because you want to engine brake and downshift as quick as you can to get the car stopped. You do that too quickly though and the rears lock and you get a quick snap. So yeah, Kyalami is really challenging in the wet, especially with that curb there on the inside. It is a really difficult curb. And if you touch it, you're just going to jump up, go to space, probably even further. But for the first installation lap is going to be a 51.0. So coming on a little bit later, you can see we go about a second and a bit up to do a 48.8. And this is going to be now our final lap in quali. Obviously I did a couple of laps, but just a few bottles, trying to find the conditions a little bit better. So this is our fastest lap, braking at the 125 board, following Toko, who's the man on pole. A bit of a slide, missing the apex at turn 1, but we managed to get a pretty good exit coming through turn 2, keeping it flat with the short shift, braking at the end of that curb there, really trail braking in on second gear, and then coasting over the curb to get the power down. You can see we're a little bit down, now a bit up, so matching our first sector time there. And then coming into this fast right-hander, keeping it in 4th gear and trail braking, keeping it tight as we can, down to 3rd gear to get the nose in. This is definitely our final lap. Coming into this corner, we get a bit of a snap, but get it stopped, turn in late, hit a late apex, get the power down pretty early and straight, so we get a good run into this downhill left-hander, into the uphill right, and we are again quite up on our time, which is really ideal. We're in 8th place at this point, which for the championship, especially with thrown in 6th, just not ideal. So I really was trying to make the most of this lap to boost what we could out of this qualifying session. Bumping the traction control to try and take this downhill left-hander flat. We just about do it, and then turn the traction control back down into this corner here. Braking quite late, really isn't much of a basis to brake there. It is really just guessing. Coming into the penultimate corner, braking at the start of the curb, keeping it in 3rd, really trail braking through, and then coming into the final corner, we're about 5/10 up there. Coming into 2nd gear, rolling it in again on the brakes, clipping the apex, run and ride is going to be our final lap. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 48.3, which puts us P8, and that was our final position. So really, really, really disappointing there. And onto the race, onto the formation lap now. Really just trying to get the tyres into a nice window and keep the brakes warm, keep the tyres warm. And I was talking to Tritton in the party, and he said he used map 1. So for the start, I did just use map 1. Did just use map 1 instead of map 4. Just thought I've got nothing to lose at this point. P8, I just needed to get in front of Frome. So we're going to cut to the race start now. So on to the race start now, and we're right behind our championship rival of Flying Frome. He's now 5 points behind in the championship with 2 rounds to go. It is vital we get a good start. We have a couple of people who lagged out and we'll have to start from the pit lane. So just trying to get as close to that speed limit as we can, go a little bit over, trying to get close and get a good start. It's lights out and away we go, and we get a stellar launch immediately as the lights go out. We pull alongside Flying Frome into turn 1. We've made up a couple of positions already. Alongside him into turn 1, it is a massive gaggle of cars coming into the turn 1. We brake really late, get it stopped, and we're up the inside. Nearly have a look at blue flag. We get a bit of a tap on the inside there, and blue flag gets a little bit caught up on the exit, so we're gonna have a look around the outside. We push on a little bit though, so we're gonna have to back out to avoid that sausage curb again. Just trying to hold position, not driving to anyone. Pornage getting a bit squabbly, so this is gonna have us a little look at blue flag on the run into this fast right-hander. He's got the room and the run coming into this corner, so we're just going to have to concede that position. 4 now coming into this fast right-hander. We're up into P5, so an amazing start, and crucially ahead of our championship rival Flying Frome. Coming into this left-hander, you can see Pornage is struggling all over that curb. Blue flag really eager to get past, and he goes wide. Pornage goes a little bit wide all over the gravel. This is going to allow blue flag to have a little look. He goes to the inside. I think I'm going to follow him there on the inside, but we're going to get our foot in and soar around the outside of blue flag. A little bit of contact, but we made that move on blue flag up into P4 now. Absolutely amazing start to this race, and Pornage Town really struggling in these early starts of the race. He really breaks early. We're going to send an audacious move down the inside, really lick the stamp and send it, get it stopped on the apex and get a good run coming out into this fast long left-hander, and we've got the move done. He concedes as he gets driven onto the grass there of Pornage, and absolutely amazing start there up into P3 in the early stages of this race. Now it is our job to be consistent and hold this position until the end. As you can see, we've got Flying Frome, our championship rival, down in position 8, which is crucial to make sure we can maintain as big as a championship lead as we can. So 5 places on this opening lap, and that could not have gone better for us. We got blue flag right up looking at our gearbox, coming on to lap 2 of this race. Pornage Town, unsafe release, doing really well in that Porsche. Credit to him. That's a very difficult car to drive in these conditions, especially. You can see Tritton Artemis having a little bit of a squabble up in front. Trit just not being able to get on the back of him too well. Artemis just managing to get away and sort of in some clear air at the race start, trying to get a rhythm in this race and get onto the back of these two up in front. Of course, trying to keep blue flag behind us as well. This is a really good position. Thinking of the championship, I do not want to take too many risks in this race and just bring home a decent amount of points. So just really, you know, taking the feedback in from Trit, you know, talking to him, making sure we can get through this race really well. So looking up in front, and you can hear on the party chat, Trit is not too pleased at the moment. As you can see, he goes really wide. He's got a massive tank slapper, and he's lost the car onto the grass, which is going to gift us that P2 position, and blue flag that P3 position behind us as well. Absolutely amazing start. Now it is Artemis that leads from myself. We're going to try and chip away at his lead. We definitely did have the pace over Artemis at this stage of the race. Really just going to try and chip away at it and see if we can get into the race and break his streak of winning every race that has been wet here in FTRL ACC. Again, Trit poling this race, and it's wet, keeping that statistic up, and blue flag really on the back of us, pushing us through this corner, coming into the fast dodgy right hander with a massive curb. He has a little look but decides the better of it and backs out. So the first 2 laps under our belt, and we're really trying to adapt to these conditions, and they are starting to look a little bit worse for wear. The rain is coming down pretty heavily, just trying to avoid the standing water on the track. So set the fastest lap of the session. Blue flag goes a little bit quicker as well, and we're going to cut to lap 3 just to give you a little bit of an update. We've lost Artemis a little bit, kept the pace with him, and we've dropped blue flag by about a second. So our pace is looking pretty good, matching that of Artemis cutting to lap 5 again. We're just going to have a little bit of an update. Artemis now only 3.7 seconds in front. We have really clawed away at that lead, and Blue Flag has gained about a couple of tenths on us as well. We're going to try and bring him with us to the front, and we clip that curb at the penultimate corner. We run really wide, and that is going to cost us potentially a P2 position to Blue Flag. He has a look around the outside. We're going to hold our nerve and keep it here. He has a little run on the outside. He's not going to get his nose in, unfortunately. Is he going to have the run into turn 1? I don't believe so. He is a little bit far back. He's going to have to be an audacious send down the inside if he gets it stopped. We're going to be braking, looking for that 125. We're going to brake pretty late, turn pretty early to cover him off, and he's not going to be able to get that position. So we luckily caught a break and managed to keep that position. Coming on to lap 8 now. Again, just a bit of an update. We've dropped Blue Flag, and Artemis is going a little bit. Now his pace is picked up. Lap 9 now coming on to lap 10. You can see Mr. Grumpy has retired. I believe Flying Foam down in is that 13th position there. I believe he had to pit for some damage early on as the pit window opened. So really looking good for us in this race for the championship, trying to make it consecutive FTRL championships. And the 4th for the year for myself. We've had FTRL GT Sport Season 6, we've had N5 Racing, we've had the inaugural FTRL ACC Championship, and I'm going to try and make a second ACC Championship. However, we need to make sure we keep the consistency and hold our nerve through these last couple of races. Obviously 2 hours of Spa next week as well, which is going to be something to look forward to, and hopefully we can round the season off with a high. But coming into this corner, you can see we brake, we get one wheel on that curb, and it's very slippery, and the arse end just goes round and round, and we've luckily got the space behind, as I believe Blue Flag did pit pretty early on, so it's Blue Mosquito behind us, so we've managed to catch a break. Coming on to lap 12 though, looking a little bit squirmy. We're going to come into this corner, we're going to brake, and we're just going to coast too much, and the arse end again just going to go round. We'll try and save it, we get it stopped, and we bounce off the wall and get some light damage. Blue Mosquito coming around that corner as well, so we need to quickly get it turned around, and we're on the gravel, and this is going to cost us the P2 position to Blue Mosquito. Nearly coming on and hitting them there, but I didn't want to lose any more time, so I decide this is the lap. I'm going to come in. We've got 36 minutes of this race to go, nearly halfway there, and the thing in 5 seconds, it's only bodywork damage, not really costing us any time, so I do not want to lose any more time in that pit than I need to. And the ACC is being pretty dodgy, not letting me select no to change the damage. I need to hurry up and get it done though. We're running a little bit tight on that corner there, but eventually we're going to keep trying and try and get rid of the damage to be repaired in the pit. Don't want to cost myself any more time, so there we go, we get it done. So I think this is going to be a lap. I need to come into the pit, so I dart in. It's a very short run to the pit limit line, so we brake hard, get the pit limit run. Very nicely done there. So we're going to pull into the pits, and crucially we need to make sure we stay ahead of our championship rivals in this race. So that is Frome, Artemis, Blue Flag and Blue Mosquito, our main competitors for this race. So coming out the pit lane, we're going to look behind us, and we're going to see Flying Frome is that behind us. He's going to be coming right there. It is our main championship rival, and crucially we have managed to stay ahead of him, and this overcut has really worked for us, and we're going to try and get an undercut on Blue Mosquito as well. So we're just going to need to try and get these tyres scrubbed in really well and really quickly to get back on the pace. You can see coming on a couple of laps later, we got Flying Foam about 2.6 seconds, kept the gap to him and managed to extend our lead a little bit more. But you can see Blue Mosquito has now come into the pits, so this is hammer time really. This lap was really get our head down and try and push. So we're going to come around the final corner, clip the apex really nicely, get a good run. This is going to be a crucial run onto the straight. We've got Frome behind us. Blue Mosquito now leaving the pit lane. Where is he? There he is. Oh, we're just going to be able to creep ahead of him. There he is. He's got up to speed now. He's on the inside. We're going to squeeze him to the inside, go back to the outside, brake late and come to the inside, turn early to cover him off, and we're going to keep that position very nicely. So that is a crucial move. We're in a net P2 position. Coming on to lap 16, you can see we've extended our lead. Now the tyres are scrubbed into 2.5 seconds and 4 seconds to Frome. But coming into this long right-hander, we run a little bit too tight to the curb. We go wide, get it turned in, get too tight to the curb, get a wheel on the curb, and it snaps the back end round, and we're going to have to try and save it. We're on the grass, we bounce off the wall, and we've got some more light damage on the left front of the car, and this is going to allow Blue Mosquito and Flying Foam to close back up. He's going to have a little bit of a run on us now coming into this corner. We're just really now just trying to not bottle it. You can see it's getting a little bit darker as well as the time progresses. Blue Mosquito on the back of us though. He's going to look to the inside. We're going to cover him off, and we're going to defend the inside of this hairpin. We're going to brake early just to make sure we don't run too wide so we can get a cutback. He looks to the outside, but it doesn't go to fruition. We're going to cover off the cutback again and get a good run coming out. So we're going to keep this P3 position in the race. We've got unsafe release up ahead now in the pits, so we're going to take that P2 position at the end of this lap. The conditions, as you can hear I'm saying, it is really starting to get dodgy. And just trying to adapt our braking points to the new conditions. As you can see, a lap later, it is almost pitch black, and we are completely and utterly blind in this race. Really can hardly see anything 5 meters in front of us, let alone the track ahead. Moving on another couple of laps, and you can see it is now pretty much pitch black. Really can hardly see, really driving on instinct, on memory of the racetrack, just thinking, pretty sure there's meant to be a corner there. So we're just going to brake, and you do have to brake pretty early now, and just trying to take it cautiously because obviously you can't see what you're driving towards. A couple of laps later, the gap to Blue has sort of just sort of stayed the same around that 1 second 8/10 mark. He got a bit close and then backed off a bit, so it really has just sort of stayed there. But we make a bit of a mistake with 12 minutes to go, and you can see Blue Mosquito is now back on our radar once more. But yeah, for that entire stint, nothing really happened. We just sort of stayed single file in a little bit of a train. Trit, again, trying to catch up with the unsafe release after having that bit of an appalling start. He's done really well to make it back up into 6th. I'm really hoping he can overtake Flying Foam for me, my main championship rival in the points. That any extra point would help. But again, as I said, nothing really eventful happening through that stint. Just sort of stayed in that 8/10 mark to Blue Mosquito. He got a lovely view of my rear bumper. I hope he did enjoy the move. But there, this is going to be the final lap of the race, and it is crucial we just bring it home. Juho Finn stayed in front of us quite well. The back marker, he had actually had really good pace, lapping faster than myself and Blue Mosquito, so fair play to him. So we only have a few more corners to negotiate, just one more lap to negotiate, and we will bring home P2 in this race. But it's just crucial we do not make any mistakes. Don't push the car too hard. You can see it is pitch black. Now, Blue Mosquito right behind us as well, really eager to get that P2. We've held him off time and time again in the past. We'll be able to do it in this race. It being a wet Kyalami, we got a little bit wide through this downhill left into the right. He's right on the back of us. This is the closest he's been all stint, and it is the final lap of the race. So just to be sure, I cover the inside coming into this hairpin. Really can't even see where the hairpin is. We brake a little bit late and we overshoot the corner. He's going to look to the inside to get the cutback, but we're going to bite it back and get a good exit. And that is crucial we managed to get that good exit, because if we didn't, he definitely would have had a good run on us up the inside coming into this fast left-hander and just ran us out. Juho Finn running a little bit wide, so we're going to overtake him. But I believe Blue Mosquito as well had a bit of a mare coming out of that hairpin, so he's given us a 2-second gap behind. So we just got 2 more corners to negotiate. Braking here, we're going to clip the curb and go a little bit wide. You can see my reaction, just thinking, oh my god, on the final lap. I did not want that to happen. Luckily it did not cost us too much time, so we're going to round the final corner to finish P2 in this race. Definitely could have been a little bit better had we not made a few mistakes. Definitely had the pace to keep it without us there, just not really the consistency. Most of the race though, it was really consistent, just a couple of mistakes where I was, clipping the curb and it was wet. A couple of donuts to celebrate, of course. Again, for the second week in a row, not really the most eventful race, to be completely honest, but crucial points in the championship going into the final round for Spa. We have a 10-point lead over our nearest rival of Flying Foam, so it is going to be pretty good. We pretty comfortable into the last race. Shouldn't be too much worry. We just have to bring it home, and we should bring home that second FTRL ACC Championship. So once again guys, I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, please do make sure to like and subscribe. Also comment what else you'd like to see on the channel. We have more content lined up for you if you do want to tune in. Sweeney Z on YouTube, be sure to also follow the socials as well, Sweeney Z 1904. But yeah, once again guys, I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, like, subscribe, and come back for more if you have enjoyed. So peace.